Welcome back everybody, A3R here again with another video with PRJKT68. So what I'm going to be working on today is a little bit of the front end sheet metal. So what I need to do, or what I'd like to do, is install the front stone guard, front stone deflector, rock guard, rock shield, whatever you want to call that piece, and the front valance panel. So let's take a little bit of a look and see what we're working on right now. Okay, so here's the front end of PRJKT68. This is that stone guard, stone deflector, and below that is the front valance panel. So right now I have a few bolts holding the front valance panel in, but not everything. So the stone guard is just sitting in place. Here's the passenger side support. And these are the fasteners I had installed to hold the stone guard onto the valance panel. This is a kit I bought from Kentucky Mustang. It is the master body kit. Comes with really good supply of the majority of the fasteners for the car, and this is what I'm going to be working with today. As you see, this bag says stone deflector. I've seen it called grill support, rock guard, a couple different names, and then this is the fasteners for the valance panel. And these are the fasteners I'm going to move over to be used on the stone deflector support brackets. So the radiator support is going to mount in here, bolting the headlamp bucket and the stone guard this way. So these are the wrong fasteners. These I'll take out and I'll install the correct ones. This is the correct fastener coming from the kit that comes from Kentucky Mustang. They'll slide in like this and then drop in place. And then you bolt through the headlamp bucket and the headlamp support. So I'll get these fasteners moved over. Get these fasteners removed. I'll actually move these to here. That way I can fasten the support to the radiator core support, and we'll move forward and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so this is how I've got it initially installed. Right now, I have the bracket between the stone guard and the headlamp support, or the headlamp shell. But we have a misalignment here. So what I'm going to do is change the orientation to move this underneath the headlamp bracket and see if this changes that alignment. Alright, so I flipped that spacing a little bit, and that does line up a little bit better. Yeah, you can see it's quite a bit smoother here now, so it looks a little bit better. This side's not great, but again, this is a 57-year-old car, so mounting this all up is never going to be perfect. And again, this is all pretty much just mocking everything up. So this is how I have it orientated. I have the support bracket underneath of the headlight bucket, and then the stone guard goes on top. That will be held in place by these two nuts with the washers on them. So we'll get those installed, and then we'll move on to the next steps. Alright, so here are the locations for the fasteners for the valance panel. You have two on each end, kind of behind the turn signal bucket. You have two here, one that goes into the headlight bucket. Actually, this is for the stone guard. This is for the valance to the headlight bucket. As you can see, this is a little bit bent up, so I'm going to have to massage this a little bit. This is the front valance to the stone guard here. The second one, front valance to stone guard. This is just the stone guard to the headlight bucket, valance to the headlight bucket, and here are the other two for the edge of the valance panel to the fender assembly. So get all those taken out, and I'll get the new hardware put in. So here is the new hardware that comes from that master kit. You have the 4 larger bolts and fasteners that go on the outside edge that go to the from the valance to the fender, and the 4 smaller ones that go from the valance to the headlight bucket and the stone guard. And these are the 2 that are remaining for the stone guard to the headlight bucket. This one I do not have the bracket yet. It will go here. I'll have to see if I have that bracket that goes from the center of the stone guard to the hood latch support. So we'll see if I've got that one, and if I can find it, we'll get it installed. Alright, so here are the fasteners I had originally. These are the original fasteners that hold the valance onto the stone guard and the headlamp buckets. I was actually just using nuts and bolts to hold the valance to the fender, but it will have those little spring clips like this, those little spring-on fasteners. That's going to be going on in the future. So like I said, these will go, are the smaller ones that go towards the middle between the headlight bucket and the stone guard. The larger 4 will go from the valance to the fender. Okay, so here's where the first fasteners will go, which is these clips here, and they just slide in, and your bolt goes through. So these are the 2 larger ones. These are the 2 smaller ones for each side, so 4 per side. And then you also have one that comes through here. I don't have any fasteners for that, so what I'll probably do is go ahead and reuse those nuts and bolts. I'll drop the nut in if I can from the top, or excuse me, the bolt in from the top, and I'll put the nut on the bottom to see how that works. I might have to take this bumper bracket off first to do it that way, or I'll put the bolt in from the bottom and put the nut on the top. That's how I had it before, so we'll see what works. Alright, so we got the fasteners put in. Here's that little spring clip on the bottom. There's no way to get this type of spring clip into this top opening, so I'm going to use a nut and a bolt on that hole. So what I did was use the spring clip here that bolts onto the bottom of the frame rail. So we'll go there, and then here are the 4 spring clips for the top. And again, the spring clip on the bottom, that's going to be a nut and a bolt, and the spring clip on the frame rail. So let's go ahead and get this installed. So here we are with the final installation. Of course, this is all going to come apart again once we go to paint, but we got it nice and tight. That's going to be covered up by the bumper, so that's not a big deal that that's showing. Again, like I said, that's going to be adjusted once I go to get it ready for paint. So all nice and solid. Like I said, this is the only one I'm missing. This bolt's probably going to go to here. I'll have to see if I have that bracket. It probably goes from here to here, the center section of that rock guard bracket or rock guard support. Everything's nice and snug. This is going to get covered up by that'll get covered up by the grill. So pretty good installation for a test fit. So pretty happy with that. All of those fasteners worked out really well. There's the two fasteners on the bottom. So that's the installation of the stone guard, stone deflector, and the front valance. Like I said, that hardware kit that I got from Kentucky Mustang really helped out a lot. The fasteners are there, other than the 2 bolts that go into that top upper corner of the valance to the fender. But plenty of bolts laying around that I got from the car. Like I said, all I used was a nut and a bolt to put that in. There just wasn't anywhere to put that spring clip in there. So that's working out fine for now. So like I said, this is all test fitting. One, to get it off the floor of the garage. 2, I want to mount it up and make sure I've got everything, make sure everything has an initial alignment, make sure I have all the fasteners. So here is the bracket for the center section of the stone guard. It comes from the hood support. So let's look at how that goes in. As you can see, it's pretty rusty, so I'm gonna have to clean this up and get it painted before I put it in, but we'll go ahead and show how it installs. So this is how that bracket will install. 2 bolts that go on to the hood latch support, and then one that goes through, just like that other square stud that goes into the center. So once I get this cleaned up and painted, we'll install it later. So all of this stuff will come back off most likely when I go to paint it. So if you like the videos, follow, subscribe, like the videos. Keep doing these, keep posting them as I can, as I continue the rebuild of Project 68. So until the next video, peace to everybody. Love you all. Have a good Mustang day. Project 68.